Culture Show for those of us who were born a few years ago. Let's show those millennials all the things we know. Being old makes us wise. Sometimes we even go outside. We know about life before 1999. You haven't seen nothing yet if you haven't lived life pre-internet. Listen up, this is stuff you won't want to forget. Midlife Pop Culture Show.
Hello. This is Mr. G. This is the Midlife Pop Culture Show. This show's for the millennials, the X generation, the Y generation, the I generation, but more importantly, it's for the baby boomers. When life was nice before we were staring into our phones. This is Mr. G on the 603 telling you the Midlife Pop Culture Show is the place to be. We'll be right back. We're going to talk about disgusting bathrooms of the week.
It's a Midlife Pop Culture Show for those of us who were born a few years ago. Let's show those millennials all the things we...
Mr. G back here, Midlife Pop Culture Show, made for the baby boomers, but X generation, Y generation, millennials, and I guess we're calling the younger generation the I generation for iPhones or I, me, what's in it for me? Don't matter, let's just all get along. And millennials, you might just learn something. First thing we're going to talk about today is disgusting bathrooms of the week. Yes, believe it or not, Mr. G had a bad experience at a Burger King in Nashua, New Hampshire. Boy, you know what they say, look at a bathroom of a restaurant, get a good feeling about what it's all about. Wow. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Where do I begin? I guess I begin with picture number one. Let's take a look at that. Okay. Now here I am. Here going into the bathroom. That's the outside door. Outside door. Okay. I look at the door. A little bit dirty. Okay. Not too bad. I'm feeling okay. It's not the cleanest I've ever seen. But you know what? I'll give them the benefit of the doubt as we go to picture number two. Burger King cares about cleanliness and your health. We take pride in providing a clean, safe environment for all our guests. Please let a crew member know if the restroom is in need of your attention. Well, that's a rather deep subject. Let's go. I entered the bathroom, and there it is. Employees must wash hands. Look at that sink. OMG. Come on. That is awful. And I think it's great that I was able to get employees must wash hands. And I don't know what the heck is in that sink. But let's take a closer look at that. Whoa! Holy mother of God. Well. If the employees were washing their hands, I certainly wouldn't want them to wash their hands in there. And let me tell you, this bathroom smelled as good as that sink looks. Holy sweet honey iced tea. What the beep, or as they would say, what the heck was that? Can we go back to that sink? I mean, I'm no gem, I'm no beauty or anything, but what the heck is that? That is I have yet taken that 800 number, and I'm going to send them this. And Burger King, a corporate office, it'll be interesting to see what they're going to call, what they're going to say, what they're going to do. And as I was leaving the restaurant, I went around the corner and I said, "Excuse me, manager who looks like a Whopper Junior Happy Meal, look at this picture." And I held him up the picture, and he went, "Oh." Like, what? Your bathrooms are gross. They're disgusting. At a fast food multi-million-dollar franchise like Burger King. I don't want to gross anybody out today. Let's just go back to the one that says employees wash hands. Can we go back to that one, Brandon? Yeah, look at that. Employees must wash hands. Holy moly. What the heck is that? And I'm not the one to go into bathrooms and take pictures of it. Wow. You know what they say? When you go into a restaurant, the first place you should look is up. You look up if the lights are clear and the lights are dust-free and cobweb-free. That's a good sign. You check under the tables. And right here, I feel no gum. I'm feeling pretty clean. I don't know what kind of cleaning service you got. Brendan, do you have a cleaning service here?
Not in that room.
Well, let me tell you, this room is beautiful. Does anybody clean this room? Does anybody clean the top of these desks?
Me.
You do a fantastic job. And I just used the bathrooms here at Manchester Public Access. And besides looks like a little water stain on the ceiling in there, beautifully cleaned. Delightful. A joy to come here every 2 weeks. I'm not going to talk political. I was thinking of talking political. But it seems like I'm looking over and I see that I have a phone call from someone who calls here. It looks like our good friend Tom Tomlinson has called us here at Manchester Public Access. Hi, Tom. Are you there? Tom? Hello?
Hello. This is Tom Tomlinson.
Hi, Tom.
I am very disappointed that this public access TV show, Midlife Pop Culture, has the audacity to show dirty sinks from fast food establishments.
Well,
what's gone wrong? All I'm asking is that we show 100% political-orientated shows. There's no room for you in the other show that does not talk about the political ramifications facing this world today. Come on, Midlife Pop Culture Show. Come on, Mr. G. This is Tom Tomlinson. Very, 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 very concerned viewer.
Well,
Get this show off the air.
Oh, come on,
immediately.
Tom. You know, Tom, you sound like someone who's really plugged into the political scene. Again, I don't want to be that political. I'm sorry if I grossed you out showing pictures of dirty bathrooms. Okay, I'm sorry. Please forgive me, Tom. But you know what, Tom? My show, Midlife Pop Culture Show, and there's another show on here. I think it's called Moving Right Along. Is that the name of the show, Brendan? Moving Right Along?
Yes.
Yeah, which is a fantastic show, and I love it, and it's not political, and I love it. We don't have to be political all the time. Let it go. Breathe, for God's sake. Breathe. Enjoy the day. Enjoy the moment. I'm sorry, Tom. Well, I'm glad you called, Tom. But we're going to be right back after this, and we're going to do some restaurant reviews. We'll be right back.
It's a midlife pop culture show for those of us who were born a few years ago.
Hello? Did you miss me? This is Mr. G, Midlife Pop Culture Show, representing the 603. Here we go. It's time for restaurant reviews. Today, yesterday, we visited Nato's, a famous sub shop. Nato's Sub Salads and Wraps, established 1969, natosubs.com. Well, let me tell you. When I used to go to Nato's back in the day, when I was a youngster, I remember Nato's subs as being, you would open up that sub, and it had that wow factor. It was like, man, you open up the sub, steak coming out of the top of it, onions everywhere, beautiful. And this is their 50th anniversary they're celebrating right now. So I said to myself, Self, let's go to Nato's. Let's pick up the wife, a couple steak bombs, a little bit of onion rings. Ooh, and I also see that they're going to have $1.69 or $1 for the small onion rings. I said, that sounds fantastic. Even though the small subs, $8 and some odd cents or $7.99. I said, fine. My memory of NATO's was, oh, it's going to be beautiful. Oh, my God. And there's going to be so much steak. And I got the sub, and here's a picture of that sub right here. Okay, now, this is the anticipation moment. There it is. I'm unwrapping it. The dreams of a good culinary delight at my footsteps, at my door. There it was, half wrapped. I could smell the delicious steak. It had fairly decent weight when I felt it. And then this is what happened when I opened it up. Holy mother of God. Can I get the next picture there, Brendan? Oh, in the next one?
That's it.
That's it. Can you back up just one? I'm sorry. Back up. Okay, look at that. Now, look at that sub. What a sad-looking sub that is. That's a sad sub. That ain't a NATO's 50. And when I opened it up, I expected to see maybe a little saying, happy 50th anniversary, thank you so much on the paper. I opened it up, and I look like I'm getting somewhere like Fred's Slop House Diner. Look at that steak. Look at that steak. I can't even see that steak. Brendan, can you see any steak on there?
No, I cannot.
Look at this. Look at this. I know people say, look, Mr. G, you get a little emotional about these steaks and these subs and this, but look at that. This is like playing Where's Waldo, but instead of Where's Waldo, we're playing Where the Heck is My Green Peppers and Onions? You got to look close. I'm looking super close. I think I see an onion. I think onions cost about 5 cents for an onion. Do you think maybe, NATO's, you could put a half an onion in there? Do you think that's possible? How about some green peppers? They're cheap. Very, very disappointing. VVD. Very, very disappointing. Brent, let's go back to that again, that last one there, please, if you don't mind. Jesus. I hate to use the Lord's name in vain, but look at that steak sub. It's outrageous. And right where it says Midlife Pop Culture Show, you can't really see it, but there was no steak at about a third of my bun. You can kind of see at the very bottom corner. Where is that? $8. This whole delicious meal, uninspired, no wow factor, cost me over $10. $10. NATO's, hang your head in culinary shame. Shame on you, NATO's. Shame on Burger King. I've got to cool down here a little bit. We'll be right back and talk some TV on the Midlife Pop Culture Show.
Is a midlife pop culture show for those of us who were born a few years ago. Let's show those millennials all the things we know. Being old makes us wise. Sometimes we even go outside. We know about life before 1999. You haven't seen nothing yet if you haven't lived life pre-internet. Listen up. This is
Mr. G back here at the 603 talking to the baby boomers, millennials, X generation, Y generation, and now the new I generation. Pay attention, you guys. You just might learn something from a baby boomer. What we're going to talk about next? Something also that's non-existent in today's world. Good customer service. Good customer service. It snowed here last week. Snowed here. It's looking like it's going to snow here again right now. Tonight. So one of my windshield wiper blades broke. Okay? Not an uncommon occurrence. Windshield wiper blades break. Sometimes they can be a little tricky to put on, especially when you're non-mechanical, like Mr. G. So, on the way home from work, before I left, I called up Advanced Auto in Pinardville, Goffstown, New Hampshire. And this is what I got from them. I said, hi, I have a little problem with one of my hands, which I kind of do. I have a little bit of arthritis in one of my hands, and I have a real hard time grasping onto things. And I said, and it was probably I don't know, 20 degrees. It was relatively cold out. All right? Relatively cold out. Not bad, but cold. And the knucklehead at Advanced Auto, was it Advanced Auto? Yeah, I want to make sure I got it right. Advanced Auto said, sir, we only have 2 people working the counter today, so we're not going to be able to go outside and put your windshield wiper on, even though right at the huge thing on the window, free installation of windshield wiper blades. Oh, poor baby at Advanced Auto. We don't want to go out and get cold. It's your freaking job. Your job is to go and do customer service. And they wanted $15 for one wiper blade. $15 for a wiper blade? Come on. That's ridiculous. They do go up to about $40. I wanted your basic $10 wiper blade. Of course, he's giving me the most expensive one he has, even though I looked up online and saw that they have $10 ones, but of course he's trying to upsell me. So I said, you guys are horrible, terrible customer service. The guy didn't care, hung up the phone. Right down the road from me, there is now a O'Reilly's. O'Reilly's Auto Parts. Okay? I'm not saying anything about the Irish. O'Reilly, I presume it must be named after the Irish. But let me tell you, tough son of an SOBs there at O'Reilly's. Nice job, O'Reilly's. I called him up and I said, do you have a windshield wiper blade for my Honda Civic 2008, baby? And he said, of course we do. And I said, how much is it? He said, $8. I mean, I'm sorry, $10 of them is our least expensive one, and they go up to $40. And the guy said, you know what? The $10 one will just be fine. He didn't try to upsell me. And before I even could come out of my mouth, he said to me, we have free installation on that. Bring that right down, and we'll pop that thing on you right now. And I said, you know, the buddies down at Advanced Auto, they didn't even want to go outside. He said us through superlatives about that company that I can't say on the air. And I agreed with him. I went down to O'Reilly's Auto Parts in Penardville, New Hampshire. Went in there, boom, 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 $10, gone. Shame on you, Advanced Auto. You're advanced, all right. You're advanced on being idiots and lazy. Wow, it's brutal. We're going to come back and talk TV. We'll be right back.
Is a midlife pop culture show for those of us who were born a few years ago. Let's show those millennials all the things we know.
It's TV time. It's TV time. It's things that I do most of my life. It's TV time. TV reviews. The last show that I did a review on the show called Schooled, which is a spin-off on the show The Goldbergs. The Goldberg, excellent show. It's about an overpossessive mom in the 80s. A lot of funny characters. One of the characters in there, they're doing a spin-off show on her now. And now she mysteriously and miraculously is teaching school, even though she was the worst student in the world. And now in the 90s, she's teaching school. I put a picture up there of her. And I don't know if it was that picture as I was talking about it, but I could not post this on YouTube because they said copyright infringement. So I'm going to run down a few things that I think might have got copyright infringements so I can post this on YouTube. But let me tell you, the show School, still terrible. I'm not going to show you. I tried to watch it last week again. Terrible. They had some picture on there of Adam Sandler from The Wedding Singer that they dubbed into the show. It's just horrible. Get it off the air, please, for the love of God. School. Don't waste your time. You'll be saying, where did I get my half an hour back? Another one that I showed last week was a Chevy product called, it was a Chevy Step Up, or I always forget the name of that thing. Tailgate. Now, in the commercial that they had, they have a bunch of people with tailgates in their hand, which I showed the commercial. Maybe that's that they didn't like, that I actually said something negative. Poor people in Chevy, wah. Your cars stink anyways. But a whole bunch of people were going up a mountainside holding their tailgates, singing sha-na-na-na, Hey, 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 goodbye. Hundreds of them were joining up on the top of a mountain with one guy standing there on top of his new cab with his new step-down bumper. And my question was, what are they going to do with all... it looks like they're getting ready to throw the tailgates off the side of a mountain. Not very EPA approved. And if you block me for that one, fine. What a terrible commercial. Awful, awful. Can't stand it. Hope I made that clear enough. No, I think that's why they might have blocked me off. Something positive that's happening on TV? There's not a lot, but something's positive that's happening on TV right now. The Big Bang Theory, one of my favorite shows. For those not familiar with it, it's been on for about 10 years. I didn't start watching the show till about year 3. And the idea of the show is it really makes smart people or nerds cool. It makes them interesting. And that is, in the writing, just absolutely fantastic. It's their last season right now. What happened on the last show is the leader of the group, a man named Sheldon Cooper. He is the head nerd or the head guy at MIT, the leader of the show. I shouldn't even call them nerds because it makes the intellect in a very positive light. And what happened was he finally got nominated for a Nobel Prize, which he's been going after since the show started on. And what happened was, push comes to shove, there was 2 other people that kind of verified that his Nobel theory was correct, but you only can get 3 people. And so his wife, Amy Farrah Fowler, who used to be TV's Blossom way back in the day, who does a fantastic job as Sheldon's wife and girlfriend, but now wife, had them decide. Sheldon didn't know what to do. He's like, oh my God, I can't leave my wife out of this because she helped me a lot on this theory and project. And they kind of left it like that. And Amy Farrah Fowler, his girlfriend, I believe at the end of the show said, Sheldon, you've been working this a long time. You take the credit and go after the Nobel Peace Prize. Now, since this is the last year of the show, they're trying to wrap things up. But at the same token, they're still really keeping my interest. I encourage you watching The Big Bang Theory. Great show. Very entertaining and very well written. For TV, fantastic. Unlike a lot of the other garbage that's on there. There's a spin-off show for that. Unlike School, the spin-off show of the Goldbergs, this one is called Young Sheldon. Now, in the last Young Sheldon, it's about him as a very smart elementary school student who's smart enough to become like a junior and senior in high school right away. And Sheldon Cooper, the adult voice, narrates the show. But it left last time. He was taking small bits of radioactive material out of left or unusable fire alarms or smoke detectors, and I guess there's a little bit of radiation in there, or a little bit of something that's radioactive that he could use because he wanted to build a reactor. And how the show left, there was all these people in yellow hazmat suits surrounding Sheldon at the very end of the show, and he looked up like, oh, am I doing something wrong? As he was trying to pick out these small bits of radioactive material in the show. Great show. Can't wait to see next week's show. This Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, Tom Brady. Guys, take a real good look. Enjoy every moment of this. You'll be talking about this to your kids, your grandkids. You will never see someone in sports achieve the greatness that the Patriots have achieved in this past 10, 15 years. That's the 6th time they're going after the Super Bowl, and he's probably going to win. Let's hope so anyways. Tom Brady, you're a great man. I know a lot of people don't like you in other parts of the country, but I'm so glad that we're here. And let's just embellish that. Even if you're not a sports fan, you got to say, what an accomplishment for Tom Brady. And this is like a once-in-a-lifetime experience, the way I look at it. Okay, let's see. I think that is about it. Pro Bowl was just on last week. This past Sunday, they put it on. The Pro Bowl should be called You Didn't Make It Into the Super Bowl because the show's horrible. The game is horrible. They're not hitting. It's just a big show thing. No, it's boring. But what I saw before it, I saw right before that show was on, the Pro Bowl, right before it, they showed I think it was a 6-on-6 national flag football tournament where it was really, really good. But the unfortunate thing, I really felt really bad. There was a team from Florida that looked like they could have suited up and played tackle football against some team from Iowa that just looked like average high school kids. And boy, the fix was in on that. They got killed. But flag football, amazing. It was really, really, really super entertainment. Okay, besides that, I wrote down I wanted to talk about Monty Python for a second. I don't know why I wanted to talk about Monty Python, but I think all life revolves around Monty Python. I think what I wanted to talk about him was sports in general, as you know, was not invented, but kind of like brought to the forefront during the Greeks and Roman era. And as Monty Python once said, if you've ever watched the show, the movie The Life of Brian, what Monty Python basically said was, what did those Romans actually give us anyways? Well, they gave us agriculture, waterways, sewage, sports, central government. Did they have their flaws? They sure as heck did. But sports is meant, in their eyes, for the masses, the working people, to have something to divert themselves from their day-to-day grind. Hope I popped that out pretty quick. Monty Python, fantastic. Midlife Pop Culture Show, fantastic. I got 1 minute left. Let me just say this. Be happy. Life can be real tough sometimes, but just live from in here. Try to laugh every day. If people around you are idiots or morons, don't let them enter your psyche. Midlife Pop Culture Show. Mr. G. Fastest half hour on television. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
It's a midlife pop culture show for those of us who were born a few years ago.